Hi everyone, we have now spent some time post-calibrating our log. Everything looks much better than at the beginning of the day. So we'll go to the final stage of the process. Click next here. Now probably the first thing I want to do is to upload all the new calibrations which I did during this process. I would upload them to the Calibrator database by clicking on this button here. When I do that, I make sure I want to put a timestamp that corresponds to just before the beginning of my next session. Then you can see here in the output that you've got quite a lot of information about anything that we did and that we changed. And it will also tell you if there was no change. For instance, here we had no change in these hertz to knots, but we did change the boat speed versus heel table. It'll give you what the old table was, and you can immediately see what we changed with the new table. We changed the empirical K, the old one was 10, we changed it to 14, and on and on and on. So that makes it really easy to copy this to clipboard and possibly paste it in an email for yourself or for your navigator, and he can go to the boat the next day and punch in all the new numbers. And then finally, because we can now, we have a post-calibrated log, let's output that, because this is definitely what we want to use in race replay rather than the original uncalibrated log. So we can do that, generate post-calibrated log. We've got two options. We can make it a standalone with just the post-calibrated data, but no, I'd like to have the full log because my log also has information about force-state, trim, and a whole bunch of variables which we didn't talk about during the calibrator, but I definitely want to use them in race replay. So I'll click OK. It'll prompt me for a save. Let's save here. And it's appeared here, and I can open that. And what we will immediately see if we go to the top is that it is our regular log. We have everything as usual, except that if we go towards the end, we've got all these new variables starting probably here, which are my boat speed, post-cal, heel, post-cal, heading true, post-cal, leeway, signed, post-cal, and on and on and on. And my true in speed, post-cal, or ridge true in angle. So if you use this log, you might have to create a new config file in race replay in order to use those new post-calibrated variables as the base wind. And by the way, because we also have the original data, you're more than welcome to try to compare the post-calibrated true in speed with the one that was originally in the log in order to observe where and what was the evolution and if it goes in the right way in terms of calibration. And that's it for the calibrator.